You can always make more money. You can replace possessions. You can find new opportunities. But time, once it's gone forever. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day. Yet some people build incredible lives, while others feel like they're constantly running out of time, always behind, never catching up. The difference isn't about working harder or sleeping less. It's about understanding what time actually is and making conscious choices about how you use it. Today we're talking about time as your most precious resource, not in a productivity-obsessed way that treats every moment like it needs to be optimized, but in a way that helps you use your time for what actually matters to you. Because here's the truth. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. Why time feels different from other resources. Time is strange. It's the only resource you can't store, save, or get back. You can't invest it and earn more of it later. You can't borrow it or buy more of it. Every moment you get, you're spending whether you want to or not. Money you can save. Energy you can restore. Attention you can reclaim. But time just keeps moving, indifferent to whether you're using it well or wasting it. This makes time fundamentally different from every other resource we manage. Yet most people treat it casually, like there's an unlimited supply. There's also no price signal with time. When something costs money, you immediately weigh whether it's worth it. $50 for a shirt, worth it or not? But when something costs time, we often don't calculate that same way. You'll spend 2 hours scrolling on your phone without thinking twice. But would you pay $100 to scroll for 2 hours? Probably not. Yet your time is worth more than $50 an hour to you. It's your life. We're also terrible at estimating how much time we actually have. When you're young, time feels infinite. You think you have all the time in the world to do things later. But later keeps getting closer, and suddenly you're wondering where the years went. Even the way time feels changes. When you're doing something engaging, hours disappear. When you're doing something boring or painful, minutes drag. This subjective experience makes it hard to manage time objectively. And unlike money or possessions, you can't see time. You can't hold it. There's no visual reminder of how much you have left. This invisibility makes it easier to waste because you don't see it draining away. The other strange thing about time is that you're always spending it on something. Even doing nothing is spending time. You can't not spend it. The only choice is what you spend it on. Where time actually goes. Most people have no idea where their time goes. They feel busy. They feel like they're always doing things. But at the end of the week, they can't point to what they actually accomplished. Let's do some basic math. You have 168 hours in a week. Sleep takes about 56 hours if you sleep 8 hours a night. That leaves 112 hours. If you work 40 hours a week, you're down to 72 hours. Add commuting, getting ready for work. That might be another 10 hours. Now you're at 62 hours of discretionary time per week. 62 hours, that's a lot of time. So why does it feel like you have no time? Because most of that time disappears into activities you don't consciously choose. Scrolling social media, watching TV you're not really interested in, saying yes to things you don't actually want to do, meetings that accomplish nothing, conversations that go nowhere. Track your time for a week. Actually write down what you do every hour. Most people are shocked when they see the results. Hours disappear into activities they don't remember choosing and wouldn't choose if they thought about it consciously. There's also hidden time costs most people don't calculate. You agree to a dinner that's an hour long. But there's getting ready, travel time, the actual event, travel back. That 1 hour dinner just cost you 3 hours. You say yes to serving on a committee. It's just one meeting a month. But there's preparation time, the meeting itself, follow-up tasks, emails about it. That one meeting expands into hours spread across the month. Context switching also steals time invisibly. You're working on something, you get interrupted for 5 minutes, then you return to your task. That 5-minute interruption just cost you 20 minutes because it takes time to get back into the flow of what you are doing. Many people also lose time to decision fatigue and low-level anxiety about everything they need to do. You sit down to work, but spend 20 minutes just figuring out what to work on or worrying about other things. That's dead time that produces nothing. And there's time lost to things you keep meaning to do, but never do. That task you've been avoiding for weeks. You might only need 30 minutes to do it, but it's taking up mental space and energy every day. The time cost of avoidance is often higher than the time cost of just doing the thing. People also underestimate how much time they spend recovering from things. A night of heavy drinking doesn't just cost the evening. It costs the next day when you're not functioning well. A stressful event doesn't just cost the duration of the event. It costs the time you spend ruminating about it afterward. The biggest time drain for many people is simply not being present. You're physically somewhere, but mentally somewhere else. You're at dinner, but thinking about work. You're playing with your kids, but checking your phone. This divided attention means you're not really getting the value from the time you're spending. Why we waste time? If time is so precious, why do we waste so much of it? We don't feel the loss immediately. When you spend money, you see your account balance go down. When you waste time, there's no immediate feedback. You scrolled for 2 hours, and nothing obvious changed. You still have tomorrow. This delayed consequence makes it easy to waste time repeatedly. The loss is real, but it doesn't feel real in the moment. We treat leisure time as less valuable. Many people are protective of their work time, but careless with their free time. They wouldn't waste an hour at work, but they'll waste 3 hours in the evening because it's just leisure time. But that's still your life. The hours after work are as much your life as the hours during work. Actually, those might be even more important because you have more freedom in how to use them. We're avoiding something. A lot of time wasting is actually avoidance. You're scrolling because you don't want to think about something uncomfortable. You're watching TV because you don't want to face how lonely you feel. You're staying busy with trivial things because you're avoiding something important that scares you. Time wasting becomes a buffer against discomfort or difficult emotions. We haven't decided what matters. If you don't know what's important to you, you can't make good decisions about time. Everything feels equally valid or equally pointless. So you just do whatever's in front of you or whatever's easiest. Many people spend decades without ever clearly deciding what they actually care about. So they drift, spending time on whatever comes up rather than on anything intentional. We're exhausted. When you're depleted, you don't have the energy to make good choices. You default to whatever's easy and requires no willpower. That's usually passive consumption, TV, social media, junk food. People waste time not because they don't care, but because they're too tired to do anything that requires active engagement. We don't think it matters. People tell themselves it's just one episode or it's just 20 minutes, and individually, maybe it doesn't matter much. But you make dozens of these small choices every day. 20 minutes here, an hour there. It adds up to years of your life. We're waiting for the right time. People put things off waiting for when they'll have more time, more energy, more clarity. But that perfect moment rarely comes. Time passes while you're waiting for the right time. What changes when you value your time? When you genuinely start treating time as precious, everything shifts. You get selective about commitments. You stop saying yes to things just because you were asked. You start asking, is this worth my time? And meaning it. You also get better at saying no without guilt. You recognize that every yes to something is a no to something else. When you say yes to a meeting that doesn't matter, you're saying no to something that does. You become more intentional about relationships. You stop spending time with people out of obligation or habit. You invest in relationships that actually matter to you and let others fade naturally. You stop waiting for perfect conditions to do things that matter. You realize that waiting for the right time is just another form of wasting time. If something's important, you make time for it now. You also get more comfortable with missing out. You can't do everything. Accepting this means you can focus on what you actually care about instead of spreading yourself thin trying to do it all. Your priorities become clearer because you're forced to choose. Time constraints are clarifying. When you have limited time, you figure out pretty quickly what actually matters to you. You experience less regret because you're consciously choosing how to spend your time rather than drifting through it. Even when you choose to rest or do nothing, it's a choice rather than a default. And paradoxically, you often feel like you have more time. Because you're not wasting it on things that don't matter, the time you do spend feels more substantial and satisfying. How to use your time well. Let's get practical. How do you actually use time in a way that aligns with what matters to you? Know what you actually value. What actually matters to you. Not what should matter, not what matters to other people, but what genuinely matters to you. Some people value achievement. Others value relationships. Others value experiences or learning or creativity or contribution. There's no right answer, but you need to know your answer. Once you're clear on this, you can evaluate time choices against it. Does this align with what I value? If not, why am I doing it? Track your time honestly. For 1 week, track everything you do. Write down how you spend each hour. Don't change your behavior, just observe it. At the end of the week, look at the data. How much time went to things you value? How much to things you don't care about? The gap between how you spend time and what you say you value tells you everything. This isn't about judging yourself. It's about seeing clearly so you can make different choices. Design your days. Don't just react to them. Most people are reactive with time. They wake up and respond to whatever comes at them. Emails, requests, urgencies, other people's priorities. Instead, decide in advance how you want your days to look. What do you want to make time for? Build your schedule around that. Everything else fits around your priorities, not the other way around. This doesn't mean rigid scheduling. It means being intentional about the shape of your days rather than just letting them happen to you. Protect your best hours. You don't have the same energy all day. Most people have certain hours when they're sharp, focused, capable of deep work. Other hours when they're dragging and can only handle easy tasks. Figure out when your best hours are and protect them fiercely. Use that time for what matters most. Don't give your best hours to email or meetings unless those are truly your highest priorities. Subtract before you add. Before trying to fit more into your schedule, look at what you can remove. What are you doing that doesn't need to be done? What are you doing that someone else could do? What are you doing out of habit rather than choice? Most people's lives are cluttered with activities that made sense once, but don't anymore. Regularly audit your commitments and eliminate what doesn't serve you. Batch similar activities. Switching between different types of tasks wastes time and energy. Instead, batch similar activities together. Answer all your emails at once. Make all your calls in one block. Do all your errands in one trip. This reduces context switching and makes each activity more efficient. Create barriers to time-wasting activities. If you waste time on social media, delete the apps from your phone. If you watch too much TV, unplug it and put it in a closet. Make the time-wasting activities slightly harder to access. You're not trying to eliminate them entirely. just creating a moment of friction where you have to consciously choose rather than automatically doing it. Schedule renewal time. Rest isn't wasted time. Recovery isn't wasted time. If you don't build in time for renewal, you'll burn out, and then all your time becomes less effective. Schedule time to truly rest. No agenda, no productivity, no guilt. This isn't time stolen from important things. It's what enables you to do important things sustainably. Use time to buy time. Sometimes spending money to save time is the best investment you can make. Hire someone to clean your house if you hate cleaning. Order groceries delivered if shopping drains you. Pay for convenience when it frees up time for what you actually value. Calculate what your time is worth to you and spend money accordingly. Do hard things when you have energy. Don't save difficult tasks for when you're already depleted. Do them when you have energy. That task you've been avoiding? Do it first thing in the morning before your willpower runs out. The longer you wait, the harder it gets and the more time it takes. Be fully present. When you're doing something, be there. Not physically present while mentally elsewhere. Actually there. This isn't just about being mindful. It's about getting full value from your time. If you're going to spend time with someone, actually spend time with them. If you're going to rest, actually rest. Half-present time doesn't count. Build in buffers. Don't schedule things back to back with no breathing room. You need transition time. You need space to handle the unexpected. Cramming your schedule creates stress and means one delay ruins everything. Leave space. It's not wasted time. It's necessary slack. It makes everything else work better. Conclusion. Time is the one thing you can't get more of. Every moment that passes is gone permanently. You can't save it, earn it back, or reclaim it. This could be depressing, but it doesn't have to be. It can be clarifying. When you truly grasp that your time is finite and irreplaceable, you start making different choices. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop saying yes to things that don't matter. You stop wasting hours on things you don't care about. You get serious about what you actually value, and you spend your time accordingly. This isn't about squeezing productivity out of every moment. It's about spending your finite time on things that make your life feel like yours. You have today. You might have tomorrow. But those are the only guarantees. What you do with them is up to you. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. Make it count. Thank you for taking this time to reflect with me. I hope you carry something from this conversation into your day, into your life. Be gentle with yourself until we meet again.